Another £49 billion for Ukraine has just been gifted by the American taxpayer. Guys, what do we think about that? Do we think it's a good thing, a bad thing? Are we not bothered? Are we just, are we just happy somebody's getting paid? So I wasn't going to do another video today, but I thought this, all right, hang on. I thought this was really important, and it ties into what I've been, what I've been saying for all along, that NATO troops are going to enter Ukraine, I think next month. The amount of money that's getting pumped in at the moment, and this, this changed last month or something, whereby the Americans have now agreed that any money that they give to Ukraine, they're going to lend it to them. So it's going to be like a lend-lease thing like they did in the Second World War. So as I understand it, this is a £49 billion loan. And who's got £49 billion to pay back? I don't know. So they're lending, the Ukrainians £49 billion. Now, as things get worse in this conflict and the Russian war machine just keeps grinding through, there's going to be pressure now to say, okay, well, we don't want our investment. We need to get that money back. So that's why we need to put NATO troops on the ground. But also, I want to look at the language because it's quite funny, actually. Well, yeah, it's funny. It's quite funny, the language and what it actually means. So this is from the BBC, and the headline reads, US aid could give Ukraine the weapons it needs to slow Russia's advance. So let's just dissect that a minute, okay? So US aid could, it's not going to, but it could give Ukraine the weapons. What else is it going to give them if it's not weapons? I mean, it could give them the weapons. So where's this money going then if it's not going on the weapons? Could give, and it might not even go there. US aid could give Ukraine the weapons it needs to slow, not to stop, to slow Russia's advance. An equally true headline could be, US aid will give Raytheon, Lockheed, Boeing and BAE Systems great bonuses this year and may slow Russian advance. That headline would also be true to this article because, I don't know where this money's going. Just for context, guys, okay, the UK defence budget last year was £54 billion. So the US has just gifted Ukraine almost all our defence budget. And obviously, there's not just the US giving aid. There's the US, there's the UK, obviously. There's Europe, and I think per capita, the UK is giving the most. But the amount of money that we're putting into Ukraine, it's just making it absolutely inevitable that NATO troops have to be on the ground there because there'll be so much money, so much infrastructure invested into Ukraine. It won't be allowed to fall. That's why, it's, guys, absolutely inevitable that NATO troops are going to be there. And you know what I've said? I've said I feel NATO troops are going to be there the weekend of the 17th of May, 2024. I might be wrong, guys, but I'm always honest. So so let's just look at this article some more. Scrolling down, President Volodymyr Zelensky has expressed his gratitude to the US House of Representatives for approving his a new £49 billion package of military assistance for Ukraine. Well, I'm glad he's grateful because that is a lot of money. And, if you're in the United States, are there any problems in the United States that this money could potentially have been spent on? I think we should, as countries, we should look at our own people first. That's not to say that we shouldn't support the Ukrainians. I've been very clear from the get-go. We should have done more early on, and our lack of decisive action as the West, our lack of decisive action early on has just made it more costly. So if the politicians could grow a pair and get a backbone, we could sort this out really quickly. But the problem is, because it's like death of a thousand cuts, all the time the Russian war machine is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. And our political class, they don't really have the capacity to deal with the Russian political class because our politicians change every 4 years. And I think the first prime minister that Putin dealt with was, I think it was Tony Blair and George Bush Jr. So that's how long Putin's been in power. And he knows all he has to do is wait a couple of years and it'll all be changed. So, you know, it's very, you know, it's very unnerving that this amount of money is being pumped into Ukraine. And all it says to me is the inevitability of NATO troops into Ukraine. I actually think this will be the last aid package from the United States. I think after this, the Europeans are going to have to take this slack, and then you're going to see this diversion. But guys, tell me what you think in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do we want to give more money to Ukraine, or should we just put an end to it now and use our own militaries? Because guys, it's going to end up that way anyway. And in my opinion, it's better to get this done quicker rather than let it drag on and let more people, you know, unnecessarily die. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and comment.